How do parents choose the names of their children? And what do our names mean? Let's talk about it. I'm Jesse.
I'm Laura.
I'm the Jericho.
This is Reconfiguring Reality.
I don't remember why we chose this topic.
I took it as surnames is what I focused on.
Really?
Yeah, because it's interesting to me.
But they
Like
don't choose
how,
the surnames for their children.
yeah, but why do we have surnames? Why do we have middle names? Why do we have names at all?
Well, why is simple. I mean, at least for identification purposes, right? You can call everybody "Hey you"
Okay, well, why doesn't everybody just get a number?
because numbers were invented after names.
But why
Mathematics came
what
after
but
speech and
why the
language.
first day, but then why the middle day, but why the second or the last day?
Well,
Like,
your first name was just your name, technically speaking. Surnames were a way to denote the difference between lineages. So when you started having things like importance of birth, like whether birthright was called into question, right? Or if your family owned land, let's say, yeah, anybody could claim to be a distant cousin, so you had to have a way to distinguish that. So they started, especially when you started getting into, the process of recording history and recording things. Um, those were important. I mean, technically, they're there before recording in a lot of cases,
well,
or
so
adjacent to it.
yeah, according to historical sources, surnames were first used in China in 2852 BC. And the reason why was to simplify collecting census information. So that's like the first recorded history of like using surnames.
Yeah, and surnames
Interesting.
really were just invented based on the needs of the people at the time. So, for example, if you were not nobility, right, but you were like the blacksmith caste, right, a merchant
Hmm.
caste, you would have a name like Smith because you were a smith. You would have a
Okay,
name,
so
that
why do we have
denoted
middle names
something.
then?
So middle names came in and it depends on where you're going from. Remember, all of these are subjective to the place that you come from because there's kind of different reasons as to why they adopted these policies. But middle names traditionally um, had to do with the habit of certain cultures adding on names. So, like, you might have a surname like this. Your name was, let's just say, Bob, right? And your last name was John. So you're Bob John. But when you married over to the next generation, that family's surname might have been Smith. So then you would become Bob John Smith. And
Huh.
in like Spanish culture, this is common to have somebody who has like 15 names, right? And it's a way of honoring the past or a special someone or something. So like in the modern age, we use them as a way, two-part system really. We traditionally nowadays most people have middle names for that honoring. They've kind of gone backwards where
Uh,
if I want to name my son after me and he's my firstborn son, you as my wife may say, oh no, well, I want to name him after my grandfather because I want to honor my grandfather. Well, we would discuss that, and however we decide to win that out, they would have two first names to meet both causes, but like there's no real necessary benefit to it. Now, the mechanical benefit to it comes in when you're again dealing with record keeping, census, not census necessarily per se, but just record keeping and identification. So if I like my son is named Michael, I'm named Michael, we're both named have the same last name, right? But we have different middle names to distinguish the two of us. So our initials are both different, and if we had an alternate name to go by, if we so choose to do that. But the reason we were gifted a middle name, at least in my case and in his case, wasn't actually to separate us. It's just a benefit of that.
Both of my kids have middle names.
So
They
do
share
mine.
middle names with their grandparents.
Same.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Yeah. I don't know where my middle name came from.
I
Were you
know
able
where
to find?
mine.
Were you able to find somewhere to tell you what last names mean?
Yeah, so there's seven. So at least in this article I found, there's 7 types of. I think they're just focusing on English surnames. And so, like Jericho said, occupational names: Smith, Cook, Baker, Brewster. There's those ones, but then there is patriot patronymic. Many surnames were simple versions of your father or mother's names, so Benson, Robinson, Wilson. Then there's place names: Sutton, Hampshire are examples. Then you have characteristic names. Some surnames are based on a person's appearance or characteristics. These nicknames indicated a physical quality or aspect of someone's personality. So Swift, Green, Long, Short. There's geographic surnames. So Wood, Moore, Ridge, Brooks. So the surrounding areas of where a family would live. Estate surnames, so it's like more for the English royalty. So Windsor, Tudor, all of that. And then there's patronage. I know how to
Patronage.
patronage. Thank you. That signify they honor a specific patron or important figure who provides support to a person. So, Kilpatrick, which is Irish, it means it's like your family was a follower of Patrick. Like my last name is various places. Like it's a habitational name for various places in Germany. I'm not going to say which places, but
Are you German? I'm German.
well,
Well, that's the
okay,
thing too. Depending on where you come from, the name can change its meaning.
so my legal last name is technically not what my biological father's last name is.
Got it.
So for me, I believe I'm part German, but I'm mainly Irish because my biological father is like pure Irish. His last name is Flynn, and like, what does that one mean? Flynn. Descendant of Flan. So whatever that means. Oh, Flan translates to red or ruddy.
Okay then. But what does your first name mean?
My first name mean?
Yeah, what does your first name mean? What does Jessica mean?
The name Jessica
So
is of Hebrew origin, meaning God beholds or to behold.
it shouldn't be surprised.
All right then. What does Michael mean?
Michael?
Uh-huh.
My last name's cooler. I'm named after a town.
The
in
name
Portugal.
Michael is a variant of the Hebrew name, which means who is like God.
That makes sense. That checks.
My name means it could mean a crown of laurel. It could mean just laurel as the flowers, or it could mean victory. So my name has several different meanings.
So my oldest son's name is and the funny thing
Strong-willed
is
warrior.
well, so since it's spelt different,
Differently.
it doesn't pop up. But so the reason why we picked it, besides the fact that it came from a Final Fantasy game, It means sun. So in Japanese, it does mean sun.
Oh, gotcha.
Or sunlight, and that's where we got our inspiration from, not the biblical meaning.
Mm.
But Greek,
I'm thinking the other word, the other kid. Sorry.
yeah, let's see. Well, yeah, so popular culture, because I know there is a if I spell it technically, because in the Bible, I believe it's Titus. Let me
Uh,
see.
thought
Let
that was
me
D.
No, in the Bible as the name of Paul's companion and disciple. So Titus has a totally different meaning than even how uh Titus is. So because we spelled it Tydus, so it's Tidus usually, but we spelled it differently. Don't ask why.
But then
But
also Liam is spelled differently, isn't it?
yes, because the ex-husband wanted, since Titus was TY, he wanted a Y in Liam's name. And I actually have found one other person that has it spelt the same way as him. And I kind of get annoyed because people pronounce his name wrong.
Huh. All right then.
But logically, maybe I'm wrong in thinking because what sound does LY make?
Lie.
Okay, but if you put it at the end of the word like, how is it
Lee.
pronounced?
Lee. Like
Exactly.
Lee. Yeah.
Liam. That's what ran through my brain to make the ex happy because I was not moving away from Liam at all. Like, he got a name the first child. I was not letting it go. He was not going to be named anything else other than Liam. So we compromised. The only reason his name was almost going to be his middle name was because it was my dad's name, my grandpa's name, my brother's name, and my dad passed away.
Right before he was born.
No, it
Right
was
after he was born.
4 days after he was born.
Yeah.
So that was the only reason why it would have flipped. He would have still had Liam in his name. It just would have been his middle name, but my mom talked me out of it.
Gotcha.
I had a fight for my son's name.
Why
What was he
though?
gonna be named? He was gonna be named something ridiculous, wasn't he?
So my ex wanted to name him Blakerith.
What?
Yeah.
What is that even? Where did that?
So what happens when a theater kid takes Elizabethan nonsense and tries to make it into a name? And
Okay. Okay.
then I said, no. And she was like, but blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, do you want his ass to get kicked every day? Because all you're doing is setting him up to get his teeth kicked in. Like,
Mm-hmm.
that name is stupid, no matter how you slice it. Ain't nobody around the world is going to back you up on this, okay? And then she was like, well, what about Blake? And I said, he's not going to come out blonde and blue-eyed. No. If you name a Hispanic kid Blake in California, in the time span we had him, you are asking again for his ass to get kicked. And I said, look, he's my son, right? He's your
Mm-hmm.
son. I'm like, so I want to continue on the tradition of naming him after his father. So I'm gonna name him, give him my first and last name. Now, if you want to give him a middle name, I'm down. And she's like, no, I'm having the kid. I'm naming him. And I'm like, okay. So I was like, I can understand I'm not going to win this fight, right?
Yes.
So I spent the next 9 months threatening to name him Who,
Like Doctor Who? Like who?
like just Who, like who?
Who?
And I wrote it in the baby book and I put it during the shower and I talked to the doctor about it. And she was so paranoid that I was going to name him Who that she caved in and let me name him my name. And then she took the middle.
My ex and I agreed that if the first baby was female, I would be able to name it, and if it was male, he would name it. And then the second baby, since I named the first, he named the second. I'm not going to say what Anthony's dead name is, but the meaning of Anthony's dead name is gracious, God is my oath.
Nice.
Yeah.
You
So
know what
I
the
named
okay.
Anthony, though, is Anthony means like a gift of God or handsome and perfect.
That's pretty badass.
The best gift from heaven. Those are like lists, like what his name could mean, depending on where they're
Do
from.
you know what my middle name is? Yeah, I mean
Demon.
in
I mean,
terms, well,
Damien.
so that's the biblical, right? That's what everybody thinks of. The actual original Greek of it, the where it was derived from, was Daimios, and what it means is it means conquer, master, overcome, tame.
I think Patience's name is self explanatory, the meaning of Patience's name. If you know what Patience is, you know what her name means.
So many of our listeners like, what's that? Strange thing you speak of. Chesh's name is comes from medieval English. It's the name of a town. I'm sorry, a county.
Cheshire? Are you talking about Cheshire?
Yep.
Yeah, like the
That's
name
not her real
Cheshire.
name, though.
Does he
I
even
mean,
know her real name?
yeah, not at all.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm sure it was told to me at some point, but yeah.
I'm
So
trying to find Hebrew.
does anyone know the
It's
top 10 names in the surnames in
wait,
the United States?
no, hold on one second. Her name means I don't see the Hebrew meaning, but it means rightful and pure.
I
Okay.
mean, most of them are the simple, odd, like the old ones. I know that there's probably at least two or three Hispanic names on the list. It has to be.
What are we talking about? The most common surnames?
Yep.
Yes, in the United States. Can anyone
Smith.
guess what number do you think that's at?
Um,
Oh, top tier for sure.
we're we're talking top 10 last names. Okay, hold on. Let me.
Yes,
I'm with you on that one, sweetheart. Smith has got to be the champ. Like,
it
there's
is.
a billion fucking Smiths.
Yeah, no, Smith is number one.
Okay. Jones,
That's number five.
Johnson,
Number two.
Williams.
Yep. Number three.
I work with names. Come on,
Brown. How about
like
Brown?
for a living. Yeah, Brown.
That's number four.
Uh
There you go.
huh. Let
All
me
right. See,
think.
I would love
Uh,
to say Silva because I've run into my own name a billion times, but more than that in the Hispanic community is like
I don't
Garcia
know that
or
it would be on the top.
Gonzalez,
Yeah,
Garcia is
Garcia.
number six.
No,
So
Lopez wouldn't be.
so eight,
Rodriguez?
At the top
nine,
six.
so eight,
Damn.
9, and 10 are all Hispanic in origin.
Okay, wait. Okay, Hispanic in origin.
Rodriguez,
Garcia was
Yep, that's number 9.
Rodriguez. Mm-hmm.
Martinez,
It's number 8.
uh, I, I I want to say Gonzalez, but I don't think it's there.
No, the number 10 is Lopez.
See,
Oh, Lopez.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say Lopez because it's super common, but I've heard of a lot more Garcias and like Rodriguez that I've heard of Lopez. Like I've heard more
Okay, what's
Silva than
number
I heard
7?
Lopez.
Number 7 is Miller.
Oh,
I can see that.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. But I mean, come on, I work with names like those top 5 were like easy.
Hmm.
Judge, she's cheating. Can I get a judge? Unfair advantage.
Like
Yeah, right?
Smith is just a give me, like, that is That is the number one most common name.
But you know what? I wouldn't have expected that to be number one. 2 or 3 maybe, but not 1. Because I would have thought Jones or Williams would have beaten it out. But that's just from what I see on a daily. So, what's the most common first name?
In the United States.
Uh-huh.
Okay, give me a second because I went for like the whole entire world. I just gotta Australia. Oh, so that's Oceania. I can figure this out. No, I can't. Sometimes okay, that's all male names. Are we not? Do we not have the United States on this list? Okay, so do we want males or females first?
I mean, I'm down with females.
Male,
Okay.
male. I'm gonna say Matthew.
Okay, so as of 2024, the most common male names in the United States are number 1 is Liam.
Oh, really?
Yep. 2 is Noah.
Gross.
3 is Oliver. 4 is Theodore. 5 is James. 6 is Henry. 7 is Mateo. 8 is Elijah. 9 is Lucas. And 10 is William.
Wow.
Now, if you go from the most common in the 1990 census, it went James, John, Robert, Michael, William, David, Richard, Charles, Joseph, Thomas.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
Michael's been the top for like ever. That's crazy. He's not even on the list anymore.
So for girl names in 2024, it was Olivia, Emma, Amelia, Charlotte, Mia, Sophia, Isabella, Evelyn, Ava, and Sophia.
Okay.
Now, from the 1990 census, it was Mary, Patricia, Linda. Listen here, Linda. Sorry, I have to every time I hear that name. Barbara, Elizabeth, Jennifer, Maria, Susan, Margaret, and Dorothy.
Oh, how names have changed.
Not a single female name from the 90s census is on that list compared to at least James was for the boys.
Uh-huh. That's crazy.
But then you have places like Canada. So the funny thing is Canada there's Canada and then there's Canada, Quebec.
Okay.
Where so like Canada was just Olivia, but Quebec was Emma. And then second in Canada was Emma, and Olivia was second for Quebec. So they have a lot of the same names because Charlotte is number 3, and then Charlotte is number 4 for Quebec. Number 3 for Quebec is Florence. Why does that name bother me so much? And then number 4 for Canada is Amelia, Sophia, Mia, Chloe, Mila, Sophia, Alice. And then it's Alice, Charlie, actually, for Quebec. Beatrice, Clara, Sophia, and how would Livia? Livia? So instead of Olivia, just Livia?
Maybe.
That's weird. Noah, Liam, Theodore, Leo, William, Oliver, what is up? What? I guess I can't say much because Liam, but Eduardo for Quebec was number 8. Emile, am I pronouncing that right? Emile with the
Emil. Uh-huh.
Yeah, okay.
Emil.
Louis, Arthur. So they have some like the boys, it's like really old-timey names, in my opinion, which isn't bad.
Like
I like it.
Oliver, yeah.
Oliver,
Henry.
Noah, Theodore, William, Arthur, like at least people kind of stick with like the classic names. They're not too fucking weird. Like, what did Elon Musk name one of his kids? Wasn't it like a whole bunch of letters or something?
Did you know that names that are all numbers are illegal in the United States?
Uh, yes, I think I did know that.
Yeah, because it's hard to keep them in the records and whatnot.
So there are no federal laws in the US that list specific illegal names, but individual states prohibit certain names that are offensive, confusing, or contain non-alphabetical characters like numerals or symbols. Common banned names include royalty, king, queen, religious figures, Jesus, obscenities, and names with symbols like the @ sign.
Uh huh.
What about Hitler? I've seen
Uh,
I've seen places ban Hitler's name.
I do know 100% it is you are not allowed to name your child Adolf or Hitler in Germany. I'm not sure about supposedly, yeah, Adolf Hitler in the United States probably would not go very well if you named your
Probably
child
not.
that.
Did you know that the name Lorelai is on the top of on the list of top unique names? So is Imogen. I love that name, Imogen. Odette.
I actually looked into that too, what Jess is talking about.
Oh.
Yeah, this is a while. It was a discussion between me and Sheep and everybody. And it's not illegal to name your kid Adolf because it's been like a long-standing name for a long time.
Hmm.
But most people have, because of the connotation of the Nazis and everything, have just basically refused to name their kids that. And they don't outright stop you, but depending on the county or township you live in, it can cause issues with the local authorities because they'll be like, you're technically endangering your child's well-being by saying that, so they may try to challenge you on it.
Okay.
See.
They
So
definitely
it's
will.
not
Any
illegal,
registry
it's
office,
just
yeah, it's just really frowned upon. It would kind of be
okay.
like naming yourself a slur in America. Like you could make an argument for it, but or actually a better example would be like chlamydia. I know people who really want to name their kids like chlamydia because they think it sounds pretty.
Oh, like that stupid like pronouncing it different.
I actually ran into that just the other day. There's someone at my
Uh-huh.
church whose name is Jonathan, and when you look at it written out, but it's pronounced Jonathan.
Oh.
And I was like,
Well,
seriously? He's like, no, 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 it's pronounced Jonathan. I'm like, your parents lied to you. You know that, right? Like, that's not what
so
they.
Bubba's real name is always pronounced incorrectly. I will not say it, but because of the way it's spelled, people pronounce it wrong.
I've seen that with Sean when people use like the Gaelic spelling of Sean. They'll say it's
Sean.
seen. Yeah, they'll say sheen or seen.
Yeah. Well, have you seen how some of their names are written out? Like I always feel horrible when I mispronounce them.
It reminds me of that Key and Peele sketch with the substitute
Hey,
teacher.
Ron.
You better take your ass down to O'Shag Hennessy's office.
So names that are not allowed in Germany include Satan, Judas, Lenin, Gucci, McDonald, vagina, whiskey, Excalibur, and pain. My question is who in their right mind would try and name a child vagina?
Look, man, sometimes funny is just funny, okay? And I would have killed to be named Excalibur. That would have been just the bee's knees. I'd have been all over that name as a kid. Hell yeah. What's your name? I'm fucking Excalibur.
Excalibur is kind of cool.
Right? It's a dope ass name. Even if you don't know what the hell Excalibur is, it's just a
Or
fucking cool
even
name.
maybe because I like animes, and even though I'm not a
Okay.
huge fan of Naruto, like I do like the arc
Sorry,
where
huge fan of what?
Pain is the main villain. And he's just like this badass character and everything like that. And I was just like, I could name my kid after a cool anime character like that. But I mean,
So,
what
but what anime did you say that was?
Naruto, or however it's pronounced. I've only seen like the arc with Pain in it. I'm
Ah,
not a
gotcha.
huge fan of it. I like Bleach, other stuff like that. But I mean, I think like yeah, because I don't, there's no illegal name in the United States. It's just frowned upon and stuff like that. But other countries obviously have names that. So New Zealand releases an annual list of the names it rejects each year. So
That's
they
handy.
publicize what you cannot name your child.
Huh.
Which I mean is smart because then people aren't sitting there and like getting attached to a name, I guess.
Cool. So that's gonna be it for today's podcast.
Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that fun jazz.
Thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye!